Welcome back to Quantum Box. Today we're going to be talking about Steven Universe the movie and Steven Universe Future. Last episode we talked about just the main series of Steven Universe. We went over some of our favorite characters, Bismuth having pants. That was a pretty fun
That
conversation.
that was a very important topic that we covered. If you haven't listened to that, go listen to it just for that topic right now.
Exactly.
Get out if you haven't listened.
We're not going to tell you when it is. You're going to have to find it so you actually listen to the episode.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to it by now, you can go ahead and get out.
Get out, listen to the first episode, and then get back in.
Yeah. And then once you've listened to that, you don't have to get out right now.
Yeah, come
Okay.
back. All right, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back after you listen to the other episode. Now, today we're going to be talking about the movie and future, which I would say that the movie, I probably prefer that over future just because it's like more razzle dazzle, I guess, and the fact that it's basically a musical.
Did you just say razzle dazzle to wow.
To to describe a movie, yes, I did.
Oh.
We're not gonna discuss this more.
Uh, I think the movie and SUF definitely did both have some flaws and some good parts to them. There was a lot in both of those that was left unexplained, like the chest in Lion's mane in the
Cough,
movie.
cough.
That part I hated that they
Yeah.
said nothing about. But then, like in SUF with Bluebird, they kind of just disappear forever. And it's like,
Mhm.
well, okay.
That bugged me a little, and really quickly, before we go on, we just wanted to apologize for this episode being so late,
Yeah.
man, it was a crazy week so far. We had to scrounge together times to record this week, and,
Lots of stuff happened on conveniently on the days we planned to record. Huge
mhm.
stuff happened, and then we were like, okay, we can record next week. And then a ton of new stuff happened. And so our schedule kind of just caught fire in front of us.
I think we rescheduled like 3 times before we finally were like, "Okay, we are recording today, we're recording from this time," and then we had to push it back because I had to, like, do chores, and I don't even know what was going on with Brennan, but
Yeah, it was just stuff didn't want us to record, but too bad we're recording anyways.
too bad, so sad, but hopefully it doesn't happen again for a long while. Of course, it's not gonna be perfect, our recording dates, but hopefully, next couple of episodes will be actually on time, so
Yeah.
So back to Steven Universe. Where should we even start with that movie? Like
So, what did you think of the overall character design of Spinel?
Spinel. At the first, I at first I was really, really confused about her because I didn't know who she was because like I was watching. I mentioned this last episode. I was watching the last half of the main series of Steven Universe, as well as Steven Universe feature, as well as the movie, all on Discord with Brennan screen sharing.
I mean,
So
we had no other option, just saying.
yeah, just saying. But it so that meant I kind of missed out on a couple important details because it was a little bit laggy. So
That's
I
fair.
I I was like, who is this? Like, it was obvious that she was gonna be an important character in the movie, but it was still super, like, confusing at first, especially when she comes down on Earth, and then she gets nice, and then she gets mad, and then she gets nice again. That was super confusing to me, but her design was really cool. I like, her physical appearance is, like, really interesting because you don't see that many gems with, like, bubble pants, so
That's true.
I liked her gem the most, I feel like, because before she was, I guess, quote unquote corrupted in the mental kind of sense, or her form changed, I guess, how her heart was up, and then when she realized kind of the truth about Pink Diamond and stuff, and she changed forms, it went down. I didn't know that that was something that gems could do, and I thought that was super cool.
Well, that's true, but I mean, if you think about it, Pink Diamonds did the exact same thing to make them think she was rose quartz when she flipped her gem like backwards.
Oh, I guess so. I wonder if that's, like, really a hard thing to do. I guess
I
if,
don't know.
any of the regular crystal gems did it, we wouldn't really notice, I mean, other than, like, maybe lapis or peridot, because
Yeah.
their gems are all circular or ovals. Well, bismuth too, but still. I wonder if
Yeah,
that's,
that's
like, a
true.
really hard thing to do since they're literally changing it. You would think it would, like, impact their powers or something
Yeah, it's
and
interesting
their
to think about
weapons.
it. I think one of the things I really did not like about Spinel, I mean, she was a really good character. I like what they did, but I just didn't like how it was the instant evil, the instant nice. The first time was like, oh, okay, she had her memory wiped. That kind of makes sense. But then instant evil again, and then as soon as she saw the diamond, she was like, "All right, I love everyone. Life is precious. Let's not murder anymore." And it's like, I mean, that
Yeah.
was a little fast, but okay.
Yeah, it's I you would think I kind of wanted that to be kind of a thing in Steven Universe Future where they
Yeah.
where she's still kind of bitter about it because I feel like that's what would make sense is, she got her memories wiped and then she got all like evil again, which was both understandable but also kind of really like happened really quickly. And then got like as soon as she saw the diamonds, like you said, she was super nice. I feel like that would leave some bitter feelings, right? Because
Oh yeah.
she was abandoned by Pink Diamond, and then she got memories of that when Steven was like, "Oh, I gotta go for a bit," and you're like, "No," and then, that led to her being evil again,
Yeah.
and you'd think she'd be more bitter about that, and I was hoping that that was gonna be a thing in Steven Universe Future, but it ended up just completely dissolving, and I thought there was some wasted potential there.
Oh, there definitely was. They could have done a lot more with her in SUF. I like I I like what they did with her very short time in SUF. I think they could have added her a little bit more. She was in there for like 3 scenes, but I still like what they did with her in Future.
Yeah. I don't especially at the end of the movie when or sorry, at the end of, Steven Universe Future, when she gets, like, super upset over Steven and stuff, like, I thought that that was really sweet and, like, like, ooh, like, character arc kind of, not really, but
Yeah, the character half archway.
mhm. And can we quickly talk about her voice actor? I think her name's Sarah Kerwood or something like that?
Something like that. It's I have to know now.
Mhm. I think it's Sarah something.
It's yeah, it's Sarah Styles.
Styles, yeah. Kerwood, what? But dang, her voice actor was really just so spot on with, like, all of
Yeah.
the songs and, like, all of the parts, I was, like, super impressed, the parts that I could actually hear, cough lag.
Yeah, she did really, really good with the voice acting.
And while we're on that note, let's talk about her songs really quick, specifically Other Friends, 'cause
That
dang.
was that was a really interesting song. I really liked it in general. I liked all of the songs in SUF. Just overall, I think they were all really good.
And, like, I didn't like most of Spinell's songs at first, like, other than, like, Drift Away, which I, like, instantly really liked, but
Mhm.
I after, like, re-listening to it, I was, like, super in love because it's, like, such a cool, it's such a cool beat and stuff.
Yeah. I really like in Other Friends how when, Pearl's like, "Oh my gosh, it's her. She can't be," and Steven's all, "What? Who is she?" And Spinell flips out about like, "Oh my gosh, you don't remember me?" Even though Steven, like, in his universe broadcast is like, "Hi, I don't have memories anymore, but I'm gonna go spend time with my friends," and, like, she knows that he doesn't have Pink Diamond's memories, but she still gets really mad about that. I kinda liked that, even though it was really irrational.
Yeah, and, like oh, I just lost my train of thought. What? Um, oof, we could talk about her weapon, her scythe.
Um, I that was really interesting. I think they should have given her an actual gem weapon because there was, like, an interview or something or a question panel, whatever it's called, with Rebecca Sugar about this, how she got the scythe. It's not her actual gem weapon. She went to, like, a weapons, like, reserve or whatever that Pink Diamond had to get the stuff. That's also how she got the injector because, they were saying that she knew how to get all of that stuff because she had been so close with Pink Diamond, she had been to a lot of places with her. So she went to that, like, armory to get those weapons, but I really wish they gave her, like, an actual gem weapon or
Yeah.
something that she could have summoned, like, maybe because when she turned evil, she gained new power, like how when the diamonds turned good, they got new powers. Maybe when she turned evil, she got a new weapon or something. I wish they had
Yeah.
done that.
Seriously, that would have been such a cool concept to explore. Do we know what her actual, like, weapon is, like, that she can summon, or did we never really find that out?
Well, I think because she never had one, I don't think she ever had one in the first place. Like, Sapphire doesn't have a weapon, even though she's a
Yeah.
gem, since her main power is to see the future. Spinel's main power is, like
Laughter or something. Well, she was created to, like,
she was
be,
created
like,
as an entertainer.
Pink Diamond's, like, little
Jester,
jester,
that's the
so
word, jester.
mhm.
So she had, like, the stretchy powers, and I guess she could, like, hold stretches out longer than, like, Amethyst would be able to or something, change her form. That was,
Yeah.
like, her main power because you never saw her, like, glow and change her shape, she kinda just stretched out, so I think that was her main power rather than, like, a weapon.
Yeah, like Sapphire, like maybe because of the way gems like how they functioned usually on Homeworld that impacted their powers and stuff. Like Sapphire's
Mhm.
like no weapon but seen to the future. Spinel's like stretchy but no weapon. Maybe that's
Yeah.
an actual thing because both Sapphire and Spinel they were kind of made to like serve like the diamonds. Like I mean
Yeah.
all gems were, but like specifically those
They
two.
were more in the inner circle
Yeah, like
because
rubies,
like
they were guards, but they still had weapons because they were guards.
yeah, because like, you'll see in the in the episode where Garnet tells Steven in the main series, when Garnet is explaining to Steven how Ruby and Sapphire met, you see, I mean, Ruby goes or Sapphire goes and talks to Blue Diamond directly and talks to her as if they've talked a lot before, and she says, "I look forward to speaking with you when I reform on Homeworld." So you know that she's like in the inner circle, and then you also see Lapis there in the background as one of Blue Diamond's court. And later in the series, when Lapis flips out, whenever Steven is like, "Yeah, I was on trial with the diamonds, and Blue Diamond was there." She like knows what Blue Diamond does, so you know that they were like on the inner circle with the diamonds.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, Lapis didn't really have a weapon either, did she? She had her, like, water wings. Maybe that's, like, a thing.
Well, I don't,
Well, she could
I think
control water.
I think her water control could count as an actual weapon because
The
she can
spear
make like
thing.
the spears and like she can make the saws like the other two lapises did, and she used the water to cut rocks apart to terraform like those other lapises did
Yeah,
in
and
SUF.
I wanna talk about those 2 Lapises because I actually really, really liked them. I wish that
Yeah.
they showed up more. I think I don't know if this was canon or like a fan headcanon thing, but or a comic that I saw, but I saw a thing where the nicer Lapis with the freckles and the ponytail like came back to Little Homeworld and
No,
was like,
that was a thing that happened, yeah.
"Oh, was it?"
At the very end of the episode, after Lapis is like gets all mad at them and almost myrtles them. And there's Steven and Lapis are sitting on the warp pad talking about that since Lapis was like, "I wish I hadn't done that." And that other Lapis warps in and is like, "Hey, is this that homeschool you were talking about?"
Oh, huh. I don't remember that
Yeah.
whatsoever. So that
Top
was
lag.
and then directly after that episode, Why So Blue? There was Little Graduation, which I don't think I actually saw that.
Really?
I heard that it
Okay,
wasn't a very good
well,
episode, though.
it was it was okay. it wasn't my favorite, it was still a good episode. After we're done recording, I need to show you this episode. Um, it wasn't amazing, but I think it was still a pretty good episode.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I feel like SUF kind of had a lot of episodes that were not very either like they didn't answer very many questions from the main series. Like I feel like we're kind of promised that some of the episodes from SUF would solve some of the plot holes from the main
Yeah,
series.
but they left too much out, I think.
Yeah, it kind of didn't happen. And then so it was either it didn't have a purpose like that or it just did not serve to the actual plot of SUF at all. And
Yeah.
I feel like Little Graduation kind of
Well,
was one of those, maybe.
kind
I
of.
wouldn't know.
So, I thought you had seen Little Graduation. Do you not remember Shep?
Well, yes, but that was in a different episode, right?
No, that was Little Graduation.
Hmm. I think you might have showed it to me, but I don't think I remember much because I feel like that episode was probably really laggy.
Huh.
So take that
Yeah,
as you
well,
will, I
we'll have
guess.
to we'll have to look at that.
And then let's see, what are some episodes that actually were super important? There was
I think that Together Forever was a really important episode to how it ended,
which
because
one was that again?
that was the episode, a spoiler alert if you haven't already left by now from all the spoilers we've already said.
Get Out.
That yeah, exactly. That was the episode when Steven proposed to Connie.
Oh my gosh, it was. I forgot
So
about that.
that episode I think was really important to the last 6 episodes, because that kind of triggers the cascade and spiraling stress that causes like literally everything else.
Yeah, it was, like, because directly after Together Forever, it was Growing Pains, which wasn't that when Steven, like, fine is like, "He's fine, this is fine, everything's fine," and then, like, 2 seconds later, he's all pink, "This isn't fine."
Kind of, yeah, he was like glowing pink and swelling like, 10
Oh,
times bigger than
yeah.
he should be, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm totally fine, Connie. Don't worry about it at all." Goes to the hospital, you know, that stuff.
Maheshwaran was like, "Hey, you remember any traumatizing things from your childhood?" And he's like, "Do you
And
want
he
a
lists
list?"
like 1,000 things, and he's like, "Oh yeah, there was this and this and this and this and this and this." But that was only the early stuff, and lists like a 10 100 million things after that. And then Dr. Maheshwaran's all, stress is harmful. Like something particularly stressful happens, and Steven like has a heart attack and swells really big.
Gem equivalent to a heart attack.
Yeah, because like he clutched his chest and went down on the floor, and I was like, "Whoa, what?" It
Yeah,
was
like,
weird
"Hi,
that he did
Steven."
that, right? And so then you know, Steven, after the swelling, Steven's dad comes in and is like, "No, you're fine." And Steven's like, "I'm fine."
I don't know
So
about that one,
there's like
man.
there's the 2 sentence conversation with his dad, and he is fine after that. I just like how they went like that with that episode at the end, but the episode in general was good.
Yeah, it kinda ended pretty briefly, but then again, didn't they only have, like, 20 minutes to do everything, or was it less?
I think the SUF episodes were like 10, like normal.
Yeah,
I
then
think.
that's kind of a lot to fit in an episode then.
Yeah. After that, I really hated the episode after that, which was Mr. Universe. I hated that
Same.
episode. Like oh,
Not
I hated
fun.
it. Yeah, I mean, like the general idea of it was interesting, but then once they got to the part where Greg breaks into his old house and then takes the CD and plays it, that music ruined that one like 30-second song ruined the entire episode.
Yeah, but then it gets kind of better at the end when they get in, like, the kinda car crash.
Yeah, that
I
was
thought that that was good.
it was like, "Oh, calm down, Steven," when he is like, rage deletes that picture of his dad.
Yeah, he's, like, having an anxiety attack, and his dad's like, "Oh, it's fine," and then it's like, "No, it's not fine," and then Steven, like, punches the dashboard or something, and then everything just
Yeah.
spirals.
Or Steven snaps the wheel off, I think is what it was.
Oh, yeah, because Steven was driving, and then
Yeah.
he's like
When he punched the dashboard when, Peridot was first arriving at Earth. Steven's gotten the van in a lot of crashes.
Yeah, he kinda has, now that you think about it.
Yeah.
And then, I feel like Mr. Universe, while that wasn't a particularly, like, important episode to the plot, the ending was, because that's when it was, like, the snap moment where everything starts going out of hand. Because Growing Pains, it was kinda like, "Oh, Steven needs therapy," but then Mr. Universe was like, "Oh, Steven needs therapy," you know?
Kind of, yeah.
Hello, my pretty little listeners. Thank you for listening to the third episode of Quantum Box. I want to apologize for my audio specifically cutting out so much in today's episode. I was having some pretty rough connection issues, and hopefully, it'll be fixed by the time we record episode 4. We're not too sure what we're going to do for the next episode, but it'll be something fun. If you've listened this far into the episode, I thank you very much, and we're going to get on with our singular sponsor for the episode. Thanks for listening. Now that we're done with the little money section of today's episode, I will send you on your way to continue your journey of today's episode. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy the rest of today's episode. See you next time.
After that, I think, actually, I think Fragments, that episode, I think, was more the snapping point than Mr. Universe was. I think
That's
Mr. Universe
the
was 100% leading up to it, but Fragments, I think, was definitely the snapping point.
Steven needs therapy moment.
Yeah, because that's when he becomes a
Shatters.
diamond and shatters Jasper.
That was I actually really, really loved that part, I'm not gonna lie.
I kinda did too, and then afterwards, I definitely liked that they healed Jasper, but also shattering means nothing now.
Yeah, that was, like, such a big thing in the main series, like, especially that part where, Amethyst gets, like, the shatter scare, and she's, like, super cracked, and then it
Yeah,
just, like, totally disappeared, like, once at the end of the series, and they get, like, the diamond's essence or whatever, and then Steven,
yeah.
like, figures out, like, "Oh, if I combine all of our essences, I can fix fractured or
Magic!
shattered gems." It's like, it sucks.
They wouldn't even have to do that because the essences were so that the diamonds wouldn't have to be there. So he could literally just go to the diamonds, like, even if he ran out of the essences or whatever, he could just go to them and be like, "Hey,
Something happened, we're not gonna talk about it.
just heal
Anyways,
this gem really quick."
yeah, which I feel like it would have made a bit more sense if, like, he was able to, like, repair Jasper, but not all the way, 'cause,
Yeah,
um
so she was, like, permanently cracked or something.
yeah, I feel like that would be a more, like, suitable solution rather than just being completely like, repaired. Didn't actually, you know what? Didn't Jasper have a crack after
No, she
that?
didn't. No.
Oh, hmm.
If you think about it though, when Yellow Diamond in I think it was in Homeworld Bound, she was repairing gems by putting all the shattered pieces back together, and they weren't fully healed, but they were permanently cracked and she just fixed their physical forms. So that's kind of
Yeah.
like that. So Yellow Diamond can now just individually reverse that basically.
Yeah, which I guess I can kind of understand that, but it doesn't really explain, like, the I guess it's a good plot device, but it still is kind of annoying.
Yeah. They I I think they should have had an actual permanent death mechanism that they left in place. Because I mean, with Bismuth being like, "Time to go shatter everyone," then, they could have just undone that. So, that
Yeah,
was
but
definitely earlier in the series, but
I guess in the main series at that part, the the diamonds were still really hostile, and they obviously wouldn't be like, "Yeah, we're not helping you fix these gems." That I guess it was more of a concern then, but even in SUF, like, it still would have been cooler, in my opinion at least, if Jasper just stayed shattered.
Yeah, Jasper, like, if the thing just didn't work and Jasper was just there.
I feel like if that were to happen, that would actually leave a lot like, that would open a really cool opportunity for because afterwards, Steven was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god," and then he runs to his house and then, fixes it, but
Yeah,
rather he goes, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god," and then has a total mental breakdown because he can't fix it. Like, I feel like that would open a lot of cool things.
if they didn't have Jasper, yeah, definitely. If Jasper wasn't fixed, they could have moved I Am My Monster, like, 2 episodes up.
Yeah.
Because I just shattered a gem who is now dead forever, a huge mental breakdown, and then that whole thing.
Yeah, and then I feel like there could be a better lead up to,
Yeah,
I Am My Monster, which because I liked the lead up, but it felt kind of rushed because
kinda, yeah,
it was 3 episodes apart, fragments to I Am My Monster.
yeah. I, in I Am My Monster, I really don't like how the diamonds just show up because
I know!
Steven leaves his flip-flop and, Spinel grabs it and returns it to him, but all the diamonds go with instead of Spinel literally walking 2 feet to the warp pad next to her and handing it back to him.
I
That part
know,
was so
right?
dumb. Like,
I
that was such a terrible excuse for them coming to Earth.
Right? And really quickly, before we go over the two-parter finale thing, I wanna talk about the beginning, I guess, quote, unquote, "beginning" to I Am My Monster, which was Everything's Fine. Like, that whole episode was so, like it
It
was
was
weird,
weird.
but it was also good, 'cause
Yeah.
I loved the cliffhanger at the end. That was the
Oh,
cliffhanger,
yeah,
right?
it was a really good yeah, there was. It was, oh, what was it? There was a cliffhanger there, but I can't
Yeah,
remember
yeah, I
exactly what it
so,
was.
basically, at the end of the episode, after all the gems and, like, Connie catches on that, like, Steven's super stressed out and something's going on and he keeps glowing pink, they all,
Oh,
like,
right,
show
yeah.
up to have, like, a mental health intervention, and then they all stress him
Yeah,
out, and then he, like, doubles over, and then his back
he
explodes, and then it
explodes.
ends.
Yeah. I, uh, I'm really glad earlier in this series, how they had been releasing 2 episodes at once every week. I'm really glad they did not do that with the last 4. They released them all on the same day because that would have been such
I know,
an
the
evil
suspense
cliffhanger if
would
they
have
did
killed
that.
me. I know, I remember watching that and just, like, sitting there, and then the stupid ads would go off, which wa I don't even remember what the ads were, but they were
They
super
were
annoying.
all they were all Cartoon Network ads,
Oh my
all of
gosh.
them.
But I remember, like, after like, Steven's literally so stressed that he doubles over and his back, like, explodes into this, like, weird pink, like, lava pink explosion,
It
and
looked
then
like a weird crystal or something.
right? And then immediately after, it's like, "Have you heard of Amazing World of Gumball?" It was like
Right.
with, like, all this high-pitched music going on, I was just, like, sitting against my wall like, "What just happened?"
Yeah, like, this is not appropriate for what just existed.
Right? Like, I feel like we should be getting, like, an ad for a funeral home or something.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh, that was but man, like, the lead up to that where he was like, "It's all good. Oh, yeah, it's all good. Oh, it's all good. Boosh."
Boom.
Oh my god, that was both amazing and, like, heartbreaking, like, I felt so bad.
Right, it was like, "Yep, I'm good, death," basically. And
Yeah,
then
seriously.
after I Am My Monster, that whole thing happens. I don't like how it really ended because they're all, "Okay, give Steven a hug, problem solved."
Yeah, I wish the I Am a Monster thing was more of a two-parter, like, with a
Yeah.
cooler, like, fight, because I feel
Mhm.
like in the main series, we got a couple of cool fights, but in I Am My Monster, we didn't really get anything.
No, it was eh. And then
It was like friendship of being
Yeah.
being around your loved ones and ooh do 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 and oh Steven, it's me Connie. I'm just gonna kiss your weird space in between your eyeballs and everything's gonna be
Right?
fine.
Yeah, that was weird, and then after I really liked the one thing I really liked in I Am My Monster is when White Diamond goes to hug him, how she just puts her hand on his arm and just smiles really awkwardly.
I know. That was
That was
you know what?
awesome.
Really quickly while we're talking about White Diamond, I know this is super off track, but I want to talk about her power really quickly. Her Steven Universe future power, because oh my good
It
god, that's
was
so horrifying.
it was so horrifying when Spinell did that. It was like, "Okay, time to never watch this show again." I was like, "Ugh, what? Why?"
First of all, the animation for the part when she's like T-posing next to Spinel and like winking
Right.
gems or something like that. First of all, that was like really creepy for no reason. And then the actual thing where Spinel's like doing the can in White Diamond's body.
Yeah.
No.
And then, like, at first, when they walk in on her in the room and she's just, like, meditating and just casually, "Oh, hello, Steven."
Oh god, it was so bad. But then there was a really cool I kinda like the part where I think White Diamond's like, "Oh, do you wanna try it out?" And then Steven ends up almost like, shattering her because of, like, PTSD and
Right.
stuff. I actually kinda like that part, like, not gonna lie.
That part was really interesting, but
Mhm.
I don't know, it was weird.
Yeah, like, the last 4 episodes, like, including Fragments, which was, 5th to last, it was, like, really intense, like, the entire SUF, like, series, it was all very melodramatic, like, there were some fights here and there with, what was it called? The aquamarine and other thing fused, like,
Ruby?
the ruby. What was that fusion called again? Like,
Bluebird.
Bluebird. I felt like that was a pretty cool episode because that's when, like, Greg cut his hair and Steven was, like, super, like,
Yeah, that
kinda
was sad.
that yeah, but, like, other than that and maybe, like, Prickly Pear, which was kind of a fun fight, it was all very, very, like, calm, which I mean, it was more of a mental thing, which I guess is kind of hard to portray, like, an interesting thing when, like, a series is more about, like, specifically Steven's, like, mental health and, like, how he slowly, like, goes down this spiral. But I just felt like there was they missed a lot of opportunities to make it actually interesting.
Yeah, I don't like how with Bluebird at the very end, they fly off into space and just never again are seen.
Yeah, seriously.
It it was it was dumb when they did that.
Mhm.
And then the last episode is the future when Steven's like, "Okay, goodbye forever, everyone."
Yeah, that was both a good conclusion, but also, like, the potential, it was wasted.
Yeah, it was the part where Steven says, "I'll be able to talk to my therapist on the road." It's like, "Good for you, Steven."
Mhm. Yeah, I like that part, but, can we just quickly talk about the scene where Pearl, Garnet, and Amethyst start singing the Cookie Cat
Cookie Cat.
song? That was
Yeah, that
horrible.
I really loved at the very end of that when Garnet goes, "He left his family behind," just all serious.
Yeah.
And then Steven, "He did leave his family behind."
Oh my god. Yeah.
And then I loved how they're just all casual, "Okay, goodbye forever, Steven." And then at the
Yeah.
very end, they all just break down.
I thought that that scene was super, I guess not nice, but, like, just really like, "Aw," you know? I thought
Yeah,
it was equally disturbing because of how they animated the crying, but also, like, very heartfelt. Although
yeah.
Garnet's crying was super funny, I love that.
Yeah, that's yeah. I liked Pearl's crying because she was just turned away and she turns back and 94% of her face is just covered in tears. And she's all making that noise. I was like, "Oh, Pearl."
Yeah. choice that yeah, but I feel like yeah, it was both, like, super dramatic and, like, heartfelt, and then also just, like, super, like, "Okay, bye, Steven." Who is Steven
Right?
again? I don't even know.
Right? It was interesting. I just found a clip of it, and Pearls was it was perfect.
It's horrible. Oh my god. Yeah, but I guess there's not really much to say about the, like, finale, but
Yeah,
I felt like
I it was, it was interesting how the entire ending scene for the entire show was Steven leaving, but after a couple seasons or after a few episodes, I think people figured it out. They're like, "At the end, he's gonna leave," and then he did, and everyone was like, "Yep."
yeah, they could have done a better job with that. I also kind of prefer the headcanon where Steven just, like, rips his gem out and then is like, "Bye." Like, "I'm done with this."
I,
Like, "Get me a protein shake, I'll be fine. I don't need my gem."
right, I'll adapt.
Adapt, overcome, and survive, baby.
That would have been huh,
Interesting. But
and then
then
yeah.
again, it's a kids show, so
I mean, White Diamond ripped his gem out before that, so I don't think that's really off the table.
yeah, I guess, but I feel like just like, if that was actually if that was to happen, just I feel like that would be so, like, cringe-inducing, like, just thinking about it makes me wanna, like, not watch the show.
Fair.
And then, let's see. What are some other parts of SCF? Because, like I said, the finale isn't all that interesting. It's Steven saying goodbye to everyone, and then Jasper like literally walking through a wall.
She face plants herself through a wall, talks to Steven, and face plants through the wall an inch over.
Yeah, which good for you, Jasper. Glad to see you're
Right.
doing fine when your gem is
I
literally on your face. That's a good idea.
right. I liked how it was really sad, but I liked how when Steven gives Lapis, Peridot, and Bismuth their stuff, how Lapis starts crying and says, "I'm gonna make a watercolor painting of you from my tears." That was
So
so
on
sad, but I liked it.
but that's so like on brand for Lapis though.
It is, yeah.
And then didn't Steven, like, give her, like, his shirt or something like that?
Steven gave Peridot a Steven shirt.
Yeah, that was such I don't I didn't that no, that just I guess it kinda makes sense since Peridot in the middle of the main series was like, "I'm Steven," and when they were watching over for Steven that one time, but it was also just like, "Steven, you can do so much better, man."
Yeah, and then, after that, when Bismuth hands or when Steven gives Bismuth
The flag, right?
the flag.
From the chest.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, I thought that that was a very like, that was nice, but I still can't get over his gift for Peridot, like, what?
I mean, she loved it.
She did, I guess. I also really liked, how he gave Pearl his ukulele.
Yeah, and she's just like, "Okay, thank you, bye."
Well, no, it wasn't she was like, at first,
That was
like,
when she was
"Oh
pretending, but
oh, yeah." She was like, "Oh, I'll play it for the rest of my life. Bye,
puts it
Steven."
away. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then when he gives Garnet the what's it called? His wedding plan, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Okay, thanks, bye."
Yeah, because 'cause weren't they, like, pretending to be super, like, "Okay, bye," just, like, so it
Yeah,
wouldn't, like,
that was
die.
before, Garnet that was before that when he right when he left, when they told him why, because Garnet was like, "I saw a future where our tears would stop you from leaving, so we were trying to be strong for you."
And then instead of being strong, they were just completely, like, disregarding him, and he's like, "Did I do
Well,
something wrong? Are they mad at me for turning into a monster?"
right? And, like, Steven, right after he hands Garnet his thing and she just walks off, he just starts sobbing right there.
Steven?
Yeah, do you not remember that?
No, I don't. So I guess it was kind of a bit, but then it kinda gets resolved at the end with like, "Oh, we're trying to be strong for you," or whatnot.
Yeah,
Let's see. I think the only other interesting thing about SUF, I really liked the, what was it? Volleyball! We didn't even talk about volleyball!
I I thought volleyball was wasted. It was dumb. I don't think volleyball
Yeah.
is worth talking about.
Really? I actually
Yeah,
I
I
liked
didn't like
volleyball.
her.
Really?
I think they could have done more with her. They were kinda just like, "Yeah, Pink Diamond hurt me, and also that's it."
Yeah, I guess she could have had a much more complex character, but you can't exactly be a complex character when you've been taken over by White Diamond for the past, like, how many
8,000 years.
years? Mhm.
It was nice when they fused, but also still.
Yeah. I liked Mega Pearl as a fusion, I really liked her design, even though it was kind of weird. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think either of them has a crown or a sash, but that's fine.
I looked it up and apparently that fusion is actually called Prince Pearl. Why?
Prince Pearl?
I don't
What?
know. Like, I don't think Prince Pearl is supposed to. I don't know because both Pearl and Volleyball were female characters, and the only male gems were the ones that Steven were a part of a fusion. So I think it's interesting that they did that with it because no no two gems that have fused have ever been a male fusion. So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it was good. I think it was good that they did that, but it was also kind of just interesting that it was just out of the blue that they kind of just and also didn't say anything about it. Like, it was who was it? It was there was 2 fusions that Steven was a part of.
It was Sunstone
It was Rainbow
and
Quartz.
Rainbow
No,
Quartz.
I don't think Sunstone was I don't
Sunstone
know.
was
I know it
Garnet
was
and
Rainbow Quartz was one of them, but I don't remember who the other was. Maybe it was just Sunstone or Rainbow Quartz. I don't know, but it's interesting that they did it that way, I think.
yeah. Oh, and we didn't even talk about speaking of, Rainbow Quartz and, like, Sunstone stuff, the onion part with Rainbow Quartz.
That was really weird.
So creepy when, like, Pearl's like, Steven has to unfuse and then leave for a bit, and then he comes back and Pearl's like, "He's gonna murder me!" And then Onion's, like,
I
standing in the hallway, like, his back illuminated, and he's like, "Hi." It was so
Right.
creepy.
I really liked, I didn't like that episode in general, but I really liked every time Pearl would call Steven and everything would get progressively worse. Like, at first she was like, "Oh, it's Onion's getting a little mad." Next, it's like, "Steven, things are getting weird here. He's in the walls. I can hear him, but I can't see him." After that, she goes back, "Steven, there's a snake." Steven gets there and Pearl just appears out of the darkness and she's like, "Hide, it's not safe here." Then they
Yeah,
like walk into the kitchen and he's just getting cookies and like writing on the walls like Rainbow Quartz is awesome.
yeah, Onion's a weird character. I don't even know if we
Yeah,
talked about him last episode.
I don't know. There was one thing that Onion said in like normal speak, and it was inhale. He inhaled when Ronaldo was interviewing him, and he goes into the microphone. That was other than that, he
Huh,
does the "muzz,"
the Muzz.
but that was the only, like, actual normal sounding thing that he did.
Yeah, and remember when sour cream, like, blew up at his dad and he was going, "Ma ma 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 ma."
Right. I like how sour cream can speak English and "ma."
Yeah, which is that an actual language? If so, I wanna learn it.
Same.
But since
We
there's
need to be
not
able to translate.
it's the same as Jadunish. Inside
Maybe.
joke. Once we get to the, next couple parts of the D&D recap, you guys will learn about,
Oh,
Jadudish.
yeah. That's gonna
But
be a fun thing to go over.
oh, yeah. But, there's not a whole lot to go over. I guess we went over most of UF, but there's not a whole lot to go over in it since, like I said before, it's such a mellow series, so we're probably gonna wrap it up here for now, end our little Steven Universe two-parter.
Thank you very much for listening, and be sure to stick around in our overall podcasting time to listen to our next episode, which I believe we were planning on going over D&D a little bit more in that episode.
Yeah, I'm not sure if, what exactly we're doing, but that's kind of our backup plan if we don't have any, newer ideas, so but we do have some fun stuff, in store, so, um, please, if you like the podcast, subscribe to us on whatever, listening platform you are, currently listening to us with. We wanna get our numbers up a bit more because we're also, we kinda wanna get that money, if you know what I mean. But, yeah, this is probably gonna be a bit of a shorter episode today, but yeah, I think that's all of our little end of the segment announcements, unless there's anything else you wanna say.
I think that's all from me.
Alright, I've got just one last thing to say, just to wrap this up.
I feel
Please,
like
for
this
the
is gonna
love
go
of
bad.
God, please, for the love of God, never, ever, ever try lobster boba. Thank you very much
Okay,
for
so
listening.
this
No,
is
no, no,
literally
no, no,
just
no,
this is
no,
like an
mm-mm.
inside thing.
No,
So
no,
just
we're just
whatever
not
you
gonna
do, look up lobster boba and try it.